What is the worst sin in the entire Torah as brought down by the Shulchan Aruch? Worst sin, okay? There's 613 mitzvot from the Torah, there's 7 derabanan, 620, and then there's all those branches, anfehim, that come out. So what's the worst sin? We had a couple of examples that you guys threw out. Johnny, we'll start with you. What do you think is the worst sin in the entire Torah?
For me was the one I gave.
Yeah?
Naturally was sinat
Sinat chinam, hating people. Hating people.
hating your brother.
And by the way, it's a great answer. The Beit HaMikdash
Because
was destroyed because of that.
Yeah.
Very good. Ariel, still thinking about it?
I know there's like a trick question. I'm not just.
Listen, there's always trick questions.
Very
Listen,
simple.
we come here to learn.
Definitely not simple.
Listen, we come here to learn. You can give me an answer. Don't worry. We're not going to put you on the spot. We won't throw you out if you get the wrong answer.
It's not
you know.
because Lavan got hooked up.
So what do you think, Ariel? What do you think the worst sin in the entire Torah?
Oh, wait a second.
Okay.
Gezer.
He says gezel.
Shfichut damim.
And Mark says killing someone. Shfichut damim. Actually, Ariel is right.
What?
So if you look at the Shulchan Aruch,
Totally just threw
the Shulchan Aruch in HaEzer, Siman Chaf Gimel Seif Aleph. I'll read it to you and I'll translate it to you.
Wow.
You want to take it up with Rabbi Yosef Karo? He's buried in Tzfat. You can complain to him. Asur lehotzi shechvat zer lebatala. A person cannot let out his seed, sperm, lebatala, just, like they say, call it masturbating. Ve'avon ze hamur mikol averot shebatorah. It is the most stringent and the worst out of everything in the entire Torah. Lefichach, therefore, lo yeh adam dash mibifnim vezoreh b'machutz. That's talking about if he's with his wife, where he would go in and then pull out. And don't marry a ketana, a young girl that cannot have children. It's unbelievable. It's very simple. There is the source. According to the Shulchan Aruch, it is the worst sin in the entire Torah. So you should know, it's brought down from the time of Noah that God destroyed the order. If you look at that there's a lot of things they did, and that was one of them. And so seemingly from here, a person should try to avoid that. And is it hard? Of course it's hard, because the Satan knows that. The Satan knows what to go after. So what does he do? He tells people, it's okay, what's the big deal? Nobody sees it. And this is a big, big issue. So,
Any reason? It just says that.
Yes, of course. Because what's the first mitzvah in the Torah? Procreate. Perurvu. This says this is a side note. Don't take this too far, but we were learning this yesterday with Rabbi El Maleh. He said, even if a person, has v'shalom, went with a woman that he's not supposed to, that's not called zera lebatala in the sense like that he's talking about here. Here he's talking about masturbation. It's a different avon. It's a different problem. But so here it's kind of interesting. He said, because there was a case once where someone went with a married woman and she ended up getting pregnant. And it's a mamzer. Mamzer, in process. Okay? And so we asked him, was that zera lebatala? He said, no, it's not zera lebatala. He has a different problem because he's procreating. Obviously procreating in the wrong fashion that he's doing it. And so why is that the most important thing? Because this is what creates the world. If you look under a microscope and you see the millions and millions of cells, of sperm cells, of how they're trying to grow, and fertilize the egg, you can see that. So he says it outright and clear. A person should avoid this. Is it difficult? If it's difficult, that means, you know what that means? That means that it has truth to it.
But you have laws that, let's say, God forbid, retzach.
Yes.
And you can't repent on retzach.
Yes. Retzach is a problem, yes.
So
okay, very good. So on this you
can't repent on
killing somebody.
No, on the other one.
By the way, this is also killing somebody. You don't even know who was killed because there's all future babies that could have been born.
You're killing millions.
You're killing millions. You don't even know it. And so you're right. In a sense, you're right. Retzach is killing a person you see. Here you're killing a person that you don't see.
There's no going back on that.
You don't see. That's why they say.
Or adultery. There's no going back on that.
There's no going back. Yes, that's why they say even a person who makes teshuvah and someone who produced the mamzer, he literally has a walking proof of his problem, of his avon. So. Listen, the only difference is when someone kills somebody physically, he killed the physical person he sees. Here, people they think it's nothing because they think it's just, but if there's a reason for it, that's the source of mankind, of how it grows. That's why people used to swear, Tam Avraham Avinu, They used to swear, they'll put their hand by their thigh in that area to show that this is where...
Serious.
It's serious, by the way. Back in the day, population was needed. Today, with computers, with technology, with the industrial revolution, with the AI revolution, people in a sense are becoming less valuable. It's a sad thing. But back in the day, what was the most important thing of a country? What was their population? They had a strong army and a force, and many people, that many doctors and lawyers, many children. And seemingly, as technology progressed, people wanted to have less children. And if you look at modern Western civilizations, they have less and less children. It's seemingly awkward, and that's actually what I remember reading a report once that there was a question: if you end up having revolutions in food and in technology and in luxuries and in comfort, population growth would be through the roof. So he said, yes, that's usually right. But as people start to live in those type of environments, they end up having less children, not more children, which is awkward. There is an exception to that. Now, obviously, that's the Orthodox Jews, which we value family, we value children, we value learning Torah, teaching our children midot and Torah. So by the Orthodox, that wasn't a problem. There was also another group. By our cousins, the Arabs, the Muslims, same thing. Even in the modern worlds, they kept that same trait. We have a lot of things similar to the way that
For different reasons than us.
It doesn't matter.
So they get money from the government.
Leave aside why they're doing it and what that's not for the discussion or whether I agree with it. I think that we both have a lot of similar things in our culture, that's why you see it. But if you look at European society, they don't even have the one kid, maybe a dog, a cat, and by the way, if a family has one kid, that's negative growth population because you took two people to marry and you produced one. That's why Halakha says you have to have minimum of 2 children, a boy and a girl, or Rabbi Shammai says 2 boys. Before a person, if he wants to stop or whatever, you can ask your local Orthodox rabbi, but that is the minimum. Why? Because if every married couple had 2, the balance would always stay the same. But if they had 1, obviously, it depends on the person and on the situation. Some people, they have difficulty. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about normal situation. So it's important. So a person should avoid this shechvat zera batala for sure as much as they can. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.
Amen.